Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Outliers podcast. I'm Nick Allen, and here today, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name is Cass. I'm a senior at Gallaudet University, a deaf school, also for hard of hearing people, born in Haiti, and now I live in Ohio.
And you're an aspiring football player, right?
A football player,
You play for Gallaudet.
yeah, Gallaudet University. Yep.
Today, we're going to be talking about your experiences as a child slave in Haiti, which again, I know it's a sensitive topic, so don't feel obligated to answer all the questions, but why don't we just start with like your introduction on the subject?
So my experience as a child in Haiti was a horrible one. Not many people experience that life. Like, for example, being born and, not knowing my family, not knowing my parents at all, and then never really seeing them. And then my brother taking care of me on the streets and eating from trash, not having like good clothes. So that's not what many people experience in their lifetime. And then one of the most rare thing that happened to me is after I was in the street, I got captured in the child slavery. Child slavery is known as the Restovec. So these people who captured me were like human traffickers. They go around capturing people. Now, it could have also been that my parents gave me to those people. So after the parents give you to those people, you know, some it's because they're, you know, poor. Some it's because they feel like it's gonna like help them, benefit them in a way, like school, food, better life. But really, the rest of it is a form of slavery, like modern day slavery, which is allowed in Haiti. I don't know why, but they allow that to happen. And I was captured at about 3. It's not like adults, it's also kids too. I was forced to work as a kitchen slave, like cooking, running errands, cleaning, but also people there get abused. They don't get like food, they don't get to sleep on beds. They're forced to do things against their will. Like for me, I learned how to steal from people, and that was one of my skills. And then I ended up getting branded right here on my left arm. And then after that, one day missionary walks by and looked at me and, oh, that child looked like he's struggling. So she decided to rescue me from, my problems. After that, I had to get like my brand covered up. And then she paid us $60 to get me out of there. She could have just walked by and be scared and have many excuses to not, you know, save my life.
But she chose to come in and help you.
Yes, she decided to hold me. I feel like it was from her heart,
Hmm.
in seeing things like that. And then after that, she wanted me to go. She gave me to the orphanage.
And that's where your adoptive family found you?
Yes, yes. So that's where my adopted family found me. They found me on the internet. They were looking to adopt another kid.
Hmm.
They didn't want to have another kid through like, having sex, but they wanted to adopt another kid. So they looked in like other countries. They also, used like the internet before they found Haiti. The first person they saw was me, and they decided it was best that they, you know, adopted me. But they also understood that, many people, find me weird today, but they understand me. They also understood, I come with like sickness such as malnutrition, measles, typhus, and TB. The other thing I came with was learning disability, PTSD. I came with those and learning how to do things. I had no education. They would have to be patient with me. They,
Like the issues
they,
didn't end after you left Haiti. There was still a lot of lasting effects
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. So it didn't end right there. Many people, you know, assume, oh, he got to America, his problem ended. No, it did not end there. You are right about that. My problem continued. Like, some of the funny stories I have was like when I first flew to Miami with the missionary who was supposed to, take other kids with her, but they didn't make it through. I ended up meeting my adopted parents. And after that, my first food was pizza. I had like a whole box to myself, ate all that like it was nothing. And then the funny story was they found me, using the bathroom in a planter. They looked at me, they said, oh, this kid is peeing in a planter. We need to help him and teach him how to do things. So they tried teaching me about that. And toilet was also a problem because I'd never seen one. I thought, oh, cool. So flushing was a problem for me because I kept flushing it, and I think I broke the hand.
You broke the toilet like that?
Yeah, because I kept playing with it.
You're like, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And then after that, they, got me back to Ohio, and the struggle was I didn't like snow. I thought that thing was gonna kill me. I didn't like the cold.
Mhm.
I'm used to the weather being hot all the time. Then problem that came in when I was in Ohio, eating so many cheese at night that I couldn't poop the next day. That's probably why I'm lactose intolerant to cheese.
Mhm.
Then not knowing how to really talk, so I had to go to speech therapy.
Mhm.
Found out my head hearing loss. Had to go to a doctor for that. At school, we did a hearing test, and they didn't think I was like paying attention, but really it was me who had serious hearing loss. So went to a regular doctor instead, and the doctor said, he has hearing loss
Mhm.
because my mom tried to call me one time and she found me in my room and she said, oh, did you hear me? And I was looking at her all confused. So that got hearing aids,
Was the hearing loss like sporadic? Like, was it inconsistent, or was this just like them realizing that you couldn't hear as well?
So it's more like my hearing is like high frequency. Hearing loss is high frequency. I can't hear high frequency as good as I can hear low frequency.
Hmm.
So like bird, I can't really hear. Cricket, I can't really hear. Turn signals, I don't hear as well either.
Turn signals, you said?
Yeah,
Like you're driving, it's like, huh.
yeah, I'm not that good at hearing that.
And so, was this an issue you had while you were in Haiti? Was this like a result of some infection or some event?
Yes, yes, this was a problem I had from Haiti. They didn't know about it yet. My parents were the one who found out about this when I got here.
Mm-hmm.
They took notice of all the problems I had. And with that being said, education was also an issue because I never had that. And there's not really many schools in Haiti because school is also like expensive too if you wanted to go. But
Mm-hmm.
I stayed and just played most of the time. Learning how to do things was a problem because I'm more I'm more of like, a hands-on person that likes to learn. I don't learn just listening to things. I have to see it and have my hands on it to do
Mm-hmm.
something.
So it's more of a process for you to learn, and then topple that with everything else you're going through. It sounds like the whole experience has been nightmarish, frankly.
Yeah, yeah. So, yep. And then making friends was not that easy for me. I had to learn how to speak English.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, my parents always wanted me to, keep my culture, learn more about my culture, but I just had to, catch up, catch up with the other kids.
Catch up with how to fit in with an American
uh, how,
crowd.
how to fit in with them more. Otherwise, I was gonna struggle even more in school. And yes, there were struggles. I also got in a lot of trouble in school from like elementary to middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing things that I was not supposed to do. I didn't know really how to manage myself.
You said stealing was one of the things you were trained to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like the rest of it, if I stayed there, I was I obviously was not supposed to live at all. I was supposed to die, I didn't
Oh,
have a good chance of living. But if I were still there and I was still living, I probably would have been one of those people working at the rest of it system, I feel like.
oh, like one of those people aiming to capture others.
Yeah, that's why they teach those things so they can learn and then pass it on to the next generation.
I suppose that makes sense in a twisted sort of manner. And of course, I don't mean to be offensive. That's just like this is a really, really awful situation.
Yeah, it was a struggle, but I did have like a new struggle though. Like school, thing got better, when I was in high school because I was, not getting in as much trouble.
Mhm.
But one of the problems was like I went to mostly an all white school, they didn't have really they didn't have minorities or people from other countries or, you know, people that are just unique from everyone else. Everyone was just almost the same, I was the only black kid that was hard of hearing,
Mhm.
and education was still a struggle. I sat in the front, to get access. I went to a hearing school, when I've always been at a hearing school. Never knew about a deaf school, but I managed to get through. Sometimes my mom would be questioning me, "Oh, can you hear people all right?" And when I was younger, I said, "Yeah, the coach yells all the time," and she laughed because I, said it in like a wholesome way of like, No, yes, yes, the coach, yells all the time.
Yeah, it's hard not to hear them.
Yeah. But so what helped me was, my adoptive parent, few close friends, and you remember EJ, right?
From the All American.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember.
I picked him as a mentor because he was there for me. I didn't meet him till like my sophomore year of high school though, but still working out with him to this
Hmm.
day. And he's a positive and yeah, influence to people. Oh, he's a cop now.
He is.
Yeah. He still owns the gym, but he's not there all the time. But he's a cop working and he's got he's got a wife and two kids now.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Tell him I said like congratulations. Like I've talked to you in all these years, but I haven't kept up with him.
Yeah, I'll definitely let him know. I'm sure you follow his Instagram. I'm sure you
Yeah, yeah.
see it.
Next Level Fitness on YouTube, right?
He mostly uses Instagram.
Okay, I remember subscribing to him on YouTube.
Yeah. He has YouTube, but his go-to is Instagram when he posts.
And I might have to find him on Instagram. And same thing for you listeners. Feel free to support EJ on Instagram and Cast. You're also big on Instagram and TikTok, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. TikTok, yep. I've started that since 2020. Before that, how I met Nick was from All American. You remember I was meeting you. Before I met you, I went to Gallaudet on a visit.
Hmm.
That that's where I was going
Oh, in
before.
DC.
Yeah, so it was like a few days before we met. So how it started was that I got a DM on Twitter from the coach saying,
Hmm.
I want you to come play football for a deaf school. I was looking at that, man, I do not want to go to a deaf school. What deaf school would contact me to go there? It's because I was so used to hearing school my whole life. I've never been around deaf people, and the only person that's ever been close to being deaf was me. No one else. So, so I looked at that thing. I didn't even really reply. I just looked at it. I said, "Yeah, nah, forget that thing." And then a few days later, I told my parents, and they said, "No, you go visit, go see what it's about." And I said, "Yeah, I don't know." But then I visited, talked to the coach. I was, looking around. I was just like, is this really where I want to be? And then thankfully, he's here because I would have struggled.
Hmm.
The first thing I was trying to do was spell my name, CAS. So there, and then, after my senior year of football at my high school ended, I decided, I wanted to go there,
Hmm.
meet new people, get my education there, play football. It was a struggle, trying to sign and getting used to the deaf culture, but I like learning ASL and it's fun to use.
And
And
what you didn't learn ASL until you were in college?
yeah, I didn't learn it till I was in college. Now, some people they learn that when they were growing up, but me, I never knew about it. I didn't even know a thing about this school,
Hmm.
but
You seem to be doing it very fluently because as you're talking, you're doing the motions.
I'm better at it now. But I still like struggle, because when you're from a hearing family, you tend to think, oh, you have to sign every word, but it's not that, you can. keep it short. You don't need to sign everything. And that's funny because I'm helping, every year I try to help, people that are from my situation that never signed before, and it helps them. And for football, we all use ASL. Full campus use ASL. Now we have a drum that we use, so it's supposed to help us feel and hear, so that when we're like getting ready for the game, or maybe we're changing from offense to defense, people will be alert. And so we have communication ASL, and that's nice for me because I've found new opportunity that I probably wouldn't have found at other schools if I didn't go to that school. I still would have gotten my story out there, but I don't know how much it would have gotten out there. You know what I mean?
Like this school gave you the tools you needed to succeed, so that you can get your story out there and do well in football and all that.
Right, the tool to succeed, and more opportunities. you know now I can like communicate with just anyone. That's the best part about
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, I remember when I first met you, I didn't even realize like you were hard of hearing. I just wouldn't have guessed it.
A lot of people assumed, and then once they start talking, they're like, oh, well, some people assume like I just be like having selective hearing, like my mom used to joke about that all the time.
Like, oh
Like,
yeah, sometimes he doesn't listen.
yeah, he don't want to listen. No, yeah, it's not true. It's because I can't hear you as well. So
Yeah, it's not just the oh, I'm not gonna listen right now and just turn off your hearing aid.
that's more. Well, my hearing aids, the hearing aids I have, it stays on at all time. I don't know if there's like a setting to turn it off, but the people the people that really needs it all the time are the ones that are deaf, cochlear.
Hmm.
I don't have that because I don't need it. It's for those that are actually deaf.
Yeah, because you're
So
you're like partial. You're just hard of hearing, right?
you're partially deaf.
Partially.
But yeah, cochlear. So there's some funny stories about cochlear. One of my teammates, told my dad that he was a kid one time, and he was mad at his parents, and he decided to take off his cochlear and not have to listen to him. Yeah, yeah, I'm done for the day.
So you said earlier that you wanted to help other people who had been in similar experiences as you. So do you teach sign language to fellow students?
Yeah, I try to help as much as I can, using TikTok as a way to influence people. It's helped me grow a lot, meeting new people. So yeah, people are always interested in learning about it. So the saying I always use to help people is survive and thrive.
Survive and thrive.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really interesting story. I remember trying to learn sign language for a while, but it's a really intensive process, and I just don't. I forget the signs. It's like learning any other language. It takes a lot of time to get used
Yeah,
to.
it takes time. Funny you said that because I was trying to do the same thing my freshman year, thinking, oh, I could learn it on my own, but that's not how it works. So you have to like try to socialize with more people that sign,
Hmm.
like deaf people, or as people told me my freshman year, get a deaf girlfriend and maybe she could help you with signing.
I feel like some people struggle with just getting a girlfriend, period. I feel like it's a bit more difficult if you're narrowing it. Like, no, I need a deaf one.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, try to get you a deaf one. I have many at my deaf school that would maybe be interested.
See, I don't go to a deaf school, so that's a bit harder for me.
It's nice, not everyone there is friendly. You will get people, that talk, and there's a lot of gossiping out there. So you're not gonna see everyone friendly with a smile on their face all the time, happy for you. But other than that, it's been a great opportunity to help me out, and like helping me not only influence but like job opportunities too.
Yeah. Because I feel like when you're helping other people or when you're building those skills that involve like teaching and communicating with others, sometimes it opens up sort of job opportunities, but it's also just building yourself as an individual, and that's really great for jobs.
Yeah, that is true. And my dad said that he has like a friend that, likes to interpret for people that are struggling and they can work at their own time. And what's cool about that is, you can use both languages to communicate to that person.
You said both languages to communicate with that person?
Yeah, like voice and talking and signing at the
Hmm.
same time. That's called SimCom.
Oh, like what you're doing now. As you're speaking, you're making the signs.
If I turn my voice off, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't because I don't speak sign language. So I appreciate you not just signing because that'd also be an interesting method for an audio podcast. Like, oh, I will tell you what he's signing even though I don't know sign.
Yeah, I I will try my best to interpret.
Was there anything that you learned about deaf culture that surprised you?
The one interesting thing to me is that different countries uses different sign language. It's like the language, when you speak, they
Yeah.
they use different sign language, and I thought the whole world uses ASL, but I guess not. So that was really interesting to me.
Mhm. I remember reading about that and thinking that's kind of odd because that's kind of a missed opportunity for like an international language that if we just standardize sign language.
Right, right. It was like I first learned about that when I got here because they have like other languages you can learn too, and it's in one of the building. I couldn't remember which one, but then I also was told, not everyone like signs the same. Some people may be a little bit different from others,
Some people are different from others. How?
like the way they use their signing. So, for example, like maybe Haiti signed different from America, or it can also be like American people signing different from American people. Like some of my friends that I know before they got the gal that they were signing differently, like instead of like ASL, American Sign Language, they used English. English, I think is like more like full sentence and like voicing, if I can remember.
Oh, so there's like English Sign Language is what they would use in like Europe? Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Whereas like if you get like different dialects when you're speaking languages, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Is there anything you want to say? Any last bits of advice you want to tell our viewers?
All I want to tell people is survive and thrive, continue to be great, and learn some more sign language so that the people can have open communication.
And be sure to follow Cass on Instagram and TikTok. That should just be Cass Mastropaulo or
Pastor Charles,
Caster Charles.
CasterCharles.
This has been Nick Allen and another episode of Outliers. Thank you for listening.